Well,
So
I hope everybody's happy with our reminiscing.
yeah.
Anyway, help me welcome Marty Rodriguez, 40 years plus in this business, listing and selling houses. And we're going to hear the story and hopefully connect some of her successes to you, because some of the things that you're going through, some of the things I went through, Marty has done, been through round and back two or three different times. So, Marty, you want to do a little bit of quick Reader's Digest, although I think I published 4 pages of your successes before you came on.
Well, actually, we know when I started in the business 46 years ago, I remember the first 6 months I was working so hard. I was sitting open houses, I was knocking doors, I was doing it all, and nothing was happening. I remember thinking about just quitting. My first 6 months in the business, and remember, we had no cell phones, we had no computers. Everything was face to face. So it took us longer to do everything. So it took us longer to make a sale, to make a contact. So I remember that feeling. It's like, maybe this is not for me. And then, I kept doing what I was supposed to be doing, and then it started coming together. But, a whole lot slower when you don't have, computers or cell phones or any of that. But you know what?
Oh,
You don't know any different. In fact,
you don't have any expired lists to call?
No, we didn't have any of that because, I worked with a bunch of people that were coffee drinkers, reading the newspaper and complaining all day. And I just needed to get out of the office and get away from them. So,
I remember.
in fact, I was,
That was Whiting at the time, right?
yes. And then I was telling Neil that when I started in the business, I was just looking at the history of interest rates. I don't even remember that interest rates were almost 10% in 1978. All I remember was coming in the business and, I had to sell a house. All those things didn't really matter because I didn't know any different, right? And it was really funny. I thought, oh my God, they were almost 10%. And I never even thought about interest rates. The only time I thought about them when they went to like 18, 19, 20%. That's the only time I really remember interest rates, because then it was definitely more difficult and the banks brought out, graduated payment programs. But you know
Yeah.
what? You always find a way, no matter what the market is doing. And Neil, like you said, we've been through how many changes, and we've had to retrain ourselves.
No, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, and when we were getting ready for this, and Marty's been 45, 50 years. I've been doing this for 50 years. Um, we we've been through the contract. I've said this before, Marty, just going to verify it.
Mm-hmm.
Our buying contract was, our offer was 1 page. You needed carbon paper, and half of it was blank lines. Right, Marty?
Yep.
Yeah. And then we
And we
had
had
to
to fill it all out.
and we had to fill the whole thing out, buyer to buy, seller to sell, address, all this kind of stuff. You know, without kidding, we would write in small pen around the sides of the paper to get some kind of a request of a deal in there or some kind of contingency. It was the Wild West.
Yes. In fact, it's
But
really
but
funny because,
Marty,
go ahead.
well, what I wanted to ask you on this subject, okay, way back, took us longer to do deals, et cetera, et cetera. I remember the story, and I share this to my children and my grandchildren, true story, is that you used to pull a wagon with, I don't know if it was both the kids or just one kid. You used to pull,
Both my kids used to go with me. We used to go door knocking
right. And you used to pull a wagon with them in it or them walking aside from you,
and take,
and you
we take
door
all our
knocking
stuff.
with them, right?
Yep. Yep.
And it didn't matter that you had 2 children. What mattered is you needed to make a living.
Yep. And I,
So,
and then I told them when we get done, we go buy ice cream.
yeah, that's right. Let's go get ice cream. That's right. Mom's treating for a nickel.
Because what
So,
I did was I would leave stuff, like, I think I would only knock doors like every other month, I think, or maybe every three, I'm not sure, but I would be there every month to leave my stuff. And definitely not professional. There was things that I had copied on a copy machine that I would leave. But it wasn't what you left, it was the fact that you were there every month. And then
Right.
pretty soon people get to know you and people get to respect you because, hey, who is this girl who's out here working all the time, even in, in the hot weather? Although, going door to door is a little bit more difficult today, but actually it might be difficult today, but you guys have so much more advantage than I ever had because, you can reach so many more people, within minutes. We couldn't do that.
100%.
So,
100%.
you have a great advantage. I tell people the only advantage I have is that, a lot of the young kids today don't want to communicate, but, I'm a great communicator. I'm a great texter. I'm a great emailer. And, if you don't do all of those things, then you can't fit into all the different generations who are buying. So you still need to know how to do all of these things. And
So
remember,
Marty, are you actually doing that stuff, or do you have staff that does that stuff for you?
you know what? I actually do my own, my own warm calling. I'm the one, calling, and then we still have, staff and agents that, will go through all of our leads and, cold call.
Right.
So,
Got it.
but you know what? If you don't have prospects, you have no business. So how are you going to find your prospects? Who is your prospect? And then you say, oh, I'm going to call. I really like Follow-Up Boss because when people say they're working, it's like, no, we can see how many calls you're making. You can't, don't fool yourself. And then, don't fool us because we know if you're working or not. And if you're working or not. Are you really calling those people? Are you really communicating with them? In fact, the other day I called somebody by accident. It was actually a good accidental call because, we kind of connected and I sent them all my updated information. And I need to do that. I need to do that more because I have a lot of, clients, but I also have a lot of new clients coming in. So for me, I don't really get to work on my, my old clients, but we're working on that system now so that even if I have nothing to say, because I need to update, a lot of my information,
See,
with them.
that's a great story. And I want to repeat kind of where you're at with this is that you are where you are in large part because of the business that you built over 40 something years.
Right.
Okay. You've been in Glendora. You and I have been direct competitors, marginal competitors for all those years. I know what you do. You know what I do. I mean, that's the name of the game. However, here's the deal. You got a problem or I have a problem, you can pick up the phone call, talk to me. I can pick up the phone call and talk to you. And ego's out of the way. It's our relationship. And I want to talk a minute about that because it's relationships that get us to these places in life that are awesome. Your 47 years, I can't even imagine all the different people you must have met along the way and phone numbers that you can pick up. The fact that you know Anthony Robbins and have him on speed dial, it's always been, I'm going to get that phone number from you. I think that's fantastic, Marty.
But you know what?
Congratulations.
And it's not just that, it's so many people that I've met, whether it's, head of urology at City of Hope or, the spine specialist. I mean, I've met so many people that I've been able to help other people, even outside of real estate. In fact, I called a client yesterday, she's got a bladder problem. So I'm trying to get her into City of Hope, right? It's like, and, I've done business with her and she owns, a lot of properties and we've become, like friends. So I wasn't really calling to make a transaction, but, she's always going to remember me. You know that when you do things for people because you care about them.
100%. We say this all the time, be a resource. And in your world, you are the resource.
And I'm a huge resource in so many ways. And, for all of you new people, you need to start building your resources now. It's the accumulation effect. Start building it, start learning, start teaching. Like right now, I'm not 100%, I don't think, educated yet on the buyer, even though as many programs as I watch, on this new buyer situation. But I'm going to keep listening over and over until it's embedded in my head, and that I don't want to get stumped when somebody asks me a question. So are you being stumped because you don't have the answers? So and this is and Masters has so many resources, and CAR has so many resources. There's so many things
there's all kinds of great stuff out there for you. But this goes back to the basics. Your passion to be able to know what to say and how to say it at the highest level, right? Which is what started you going out listing and selling houses and working on objection handlers and role plays and all of those kinds of things that we did over the years. Caravans. Marty.
Oh my gosh. I was the caravan chairman for the board for 12 years. And when you remember that we didn't have the computers, so we would have to get in our car, meet at the board, and go from house to house. And it was always the same 12, 15 people. But I will tell you that I learned the streets, I learned the houses. I could, give them the floor plan right through the phone. So I do have that advantage over a lot of people because, I've been in so many houses. But now people don't do that. But even the new people, they should be out caravanning, learning. You pick an area, and you know what? I study my hot sheet every day. So my hot sheet for me immediate is Glendora, San Dimas, Laverne, Covina, West Covina, Azusa. Those are my main, properties that I study every single day. Or if I'm going somewhere else, then I'll study that for the day. But these are the ones I'm on the computer several times a day, looking at all my updates. And when a client calls me and I can spit out to them, the property, I mean, they're impressed because, I know my stuff. And I was telling Neil earlier, we were talking about, just having confidence. If you don't have the knowledge, you will not have the confidence. So how are you going to build your confidence? And by the way, I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. I'm actually obsessed with her because, she's a brand new famous basketball player who's changed the face of the WNBA. People that used to attend her games were 3,000 to 8,000. When she plays, there are 15,000 to 20,000 people come out, more than the NBA. And here's a girl who's been put down by, the best of the best, trying to downgrade her. And she's just classy. She just keeps getting better. And, she ends up the same thing. Her actions speak louder than her words. So do your actions speak louder than your words? It's the same thing. And now the confidence that not only is she better, she made the entire team better. So the confidence that they exude is what we want to do in real estate, is to build our confidence by practicing, learning, and getting to the point that we have immersed ourselves in the business and we have this computer just filled with incredible information that this is what makes us great. This is why people call us. I mean, sometimes people call me because they know that Marty's going to have the answer.
100%. 100%. And what she's doing, building up herself, her team, her league, she's building up completely the whole women's sports on her shoulders right now.
Right.
And I'm telling you, there is a big deal going on in women's sports because of this.
Because of her. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. And when I see her and I see people like Kobe Bryant, they started since they were 5 years old. What do they do? Practice, practice, practice. They're in the gym longer than somebody else. They stay later than everybody else. And that's what makes them great. So are we working at our craft? Are we there, studying when, I know that you could be out doing other things, but right now we're going to transition. So right now you got to get back in the gym and work out again. Okay, you got to work on what's happening right now and how you're going to build your confidence with this new, buyer situation.
But Marty, don't you have anything new for us? Neil and Robert's been talking, and Randy and Keith have been making us crazy with preview. And when you're done previewing, learn the scripts and dialogues. Marty, please. Give me something else.
I mean, scripts and dialogues, and and even for the new people say, "Oh, it sounds too robotic." It does at first, but you're the one that's going to change it from robotic to you're going to internalize it, that it actually becomes you, and actually you'll be speaking in script even when you're not selling real estate. So, I think that's so important and that's going to help you have the answers, for your clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Marty, well, first of all, any questions for Marty before we move into a slightly different place? Any questions right now?
Yeah, I have a question, Miriam. Marty, how many homes have you door knock per month when you were doing door knocking?
I don't door knock anymore, but when I was door knocking, I would have, it's like, it would be a complete neighborhood, which probably could be anywhere from 100 to 200 homes.
Okay, thank you.
And it would depend on, if you stopped to talk to people or you didn't talk to people, how fast you could get through it, if you could make it through all the houses or not. At first, you don't really know anybody. And I know that you don't have the confidence, but as you keep going out and you meet more people, it gets easier and easier. And then you're probably going to talk to more people and it will take you longer to get through. But the main thing is to find the person that's going to give you all the information in that track, what's going on.
Thank you.
Marty, would it be fair to say that, let's say your goal is, I don't know, 10 listings a month. I don't know what it is today. We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
But let's say your goal is 10 listings a month, and thinking in terms of where you were 20, 25 years ago and doing whatever it takes to get business. You do whatever it takes still to get business. And yet the truth is that you can buy and sell most neighborhoods. Okay. you don't need that last commission check. But what I wanted to ask you is,
I still love my job.
I understand.
People ask me when I'm going to retire. Okay, if you call me, I don't answer the phone, and I don't return your phone call, that means I'm dead.
You're dead. Yeah, I understand. I get it. I think there's literally 2 people on the planet that say this all the time. We love our jobs. Yeah. Maybe Mike Ferry, but sometimes he gets annoyed by agents. What I wanted to ask you here was your tenacity and your no quitting attitude is part of the thing, because Miriam's question is a good question. How many doors should I knock? Or I guess, and I had the privilege of hearing this answer from Marty, and that was, how many doors do you knock? How many are there? And how many listings do I need to get one more list? And how many doors do I need to knock to get one more listing? It's all about the results, not necessarily the doors. If there's 10,000 doors or 100,000 doors, you're going to go knock them or phone canvass them or right?
You know what? And it's really funny because when I was, not brand new, but fairly new, I remember there was this guy and he did not like my broker for whatever reason. There was some personal stuff, right? Did not like him, said he'd never, list with us, even though he liked us. But you know what? When push came to shove, I was working with a partner and we ended up selling that house. And then when I was doing my building here, there was a man that lived behind here and he was like really rude. And I remember one day he came in yelling at us and called me a dirty Mexican and just going on and on. Anyway, and then guess who sold his house? I did. So, it's, you never know. People see you work hard and, persistent. And, sometimes I know that I've gone up against newer people who have, taken the listing from me and I'm thinking, why did they get the listing? So don't feel like that Marty can always beat you out. You've got to find your way and the reason why they should list with you. Because, I'm probably going to win more times than you are, but it's okay. You want to get to the point where you can win more times too. And we Absolutely. Have to, and we all have to start somewhere. And, I can tell you that going door knocking, I was brand new. I remember some guy coming out yelling at me and telling me, who do you think you are? Don't come to my door and you're not the professional. And, I swear, I don't think I went out knocking doors for like a week or two. But, I'm thinking that man is not going to determine my destiny. The people who say things like that to you or who are not nice to you or who don't want to listen with you are not going to determine your destiny because you have a family to take care of, yourself to take care of. So you're going to go on to the next one. We're going to find a lot of people like that. Trust me, it wasn't just one, it was many. And it was more at the beginning, but as you get better, there will be less people that will talk to you like that.
And you'll still do more deals.
You're still do more deals and you're going to have more answers. So they're never going to catch you off guard because you're going to get in that gym and you're going to work out and you're going to learn everything there is to learn about the game of real estate.
In 47 years, how many houses is that closed-ish?
Over 10,000.
and 10,000 homes at $10,000 a commission. I don't even,
Oh,
I can't
no,
do,
my first one was 42,000.
oh, pardon me.
So, and remember, okay, so the first home I sold was 42,000 and it wasn't financeable. So my husband actually came in and we got hired a dumpster and we cleaned it out. That was one of my very first experiences, you know? And a lot of times, you know, I'm negotiating, I got offers and I've had problems with them. And then it's like, okay, no, give me the file. I'm taking it, you know, to my lender. I'm going to have my lender. And then they fight me and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Give me the file so I can get you a paycheck. You know, Jasenia, who works here, this was during the short sale days. She was buying a short sale in Rancho. So I'm driving down, and remember, I'm driving downtown Glendora, and I said, how's it going? And she said, oh, I got rejected. I go, what do you mean you got rejected? I go, no, you didn't. She goes, yeah, they said I didn't qualify. I forget what the reason. I go, no. I go, I'm calling Pat Sepulveda right now. And I go, we're going to save this. And you know what? We saved it. And it was the short sale time. She was buying it for like, oh, I think 2 something, and she got it, ended up getting it for 195 because they would do appraisals in those days. And believe it or not, they would actually even bring the price down if the price was lower. So anyway, she ended up buying that condo because no does not mean no. How many times are you fighting for yourself, for your client? You know how many no's I've gotten? And I've gotten past no to make it happen either for my client or for the other agent's client. Because no does not mean no. You got to find a way. Sometimes you're not working with the right lender or you're not working, you know, with the right agent. Something. So
or they just don't have they're not hungry enough.
They're not hungry enough. Yeah.
But no,
you know what,
right now.
This has been my whole life, because when I went to Bishamon High School and we went up for cheerleader, so my sister Rosie, I was head varsity cheerleader and she was going out for JV. Well, when we voted, they said she didn't make it. So I was like, oh no. I said, Sister Magdala, they cheated. So guess what? They counted all the votes and they cheated. So my sister got to be a cheerleader. So they had 5 that year. So I changed her high school experience because no does not mean no.
No just means not now.
Not now. That's right. And we were at Chuck E. Cheese one time, they came back. They said the lady says we can't have a knife. I got up because we had a cake. And Ed goes, your mom will come back with a knife. Do you know what I'm saying? So in real estate too, it's like, how many times, do we get a no, but we find a way through and get past that no. And that's what great salespeople are all about.
That's fantastic. Good stuff. Any other questions for Marty before we move on here?
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Your mindset is amazing. And I just had a quick question on that topic. Did that come natural to you, or have you done or are doing anything to keep it strong and to get it where it's at today?
You know what? I even the girls that work for me, they know, Marty's taught them that no does not mean no. I mean, they're learning in just regular life situations. I remember one girl had bought some airline tickets anyway, and she just like got on the phone. She had a problem with them, and she said, "You know what? I just did a Marty on him." They know that I would not take no for an answer. I don't remember what it was with with the ticket situation, but I feel like I do that on everything. Like my husband has to have an MRI, and he's got to have like 3 tests, and they put it way out. And I thought, no, I'm calling everybody till I find somebody who's going to get me this test done sooner, and I got it done. So whether it's an offer, even when you're presenting an offer, and in fact, I represented a buyer. It was a property list for $890. I sold it for $950. And the agent, I'm calling him. We're doing a great job. And then he's telling me, I wish your buyer would have come in higher. And but I was on it. And you know what? He said, I thought when he said, I wish your buyer would have come in higher, I thought, we're done. We're not getting the house. And then I get the counter offer and we got the house. But I know it was my persistence, my tenacity that, we did everything right. And to me, when an agent acts like that, I'm going to accept his offer too. Because let's say that you're not returning my call, and I've had this already, and you're the higher offer, but you're not returning my call. Guess what? I'm going to go to the next higher buyer and say, hey, will you come up? Because I'd rather work with you. You're responsive. You get the job done. And you know what? If you'll come up to this offer, then I'm going to take your offer. So you never know what's happening on the other end. So make sure that that agent knows that you're good. I know it's kind of hard because a lot of people are not as hands-on as we are, because I listen to my assistants too. They let me know, the quality of the agent that's making the offer and what's going on. So, make sure that when you present an offer, they better not be asking you for anything. That offer better be complete the first time you send it in. You better wow them.
So, Marty, when you say that, walk through the elements. Because look, you and I and a lot of agents on here grew up in the, where we all presented the offer to the seller and everything was done face to face. Remember those?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I had a 5-hour appointment one time. I'll never forget that. It was horrible. Yeah. But you got the deal, right? But yes, but it was awful. There was 8 people in one room. It was horrible. So but anyway, so when you're putting your offer together, your fully executed contract, your credit scores, your loan approval, your bank statements, everything within 30 days. And if it's a gift, the gift letter that goes with it and the bank statements to match it. Just everything perfect, because that's impressive. It's like, man, these people are together. I want to work with them. Most agents won't do that. And that makes you a step above your competition. Yes. And that just getting a newer agent to understand that the difference between previewing property in person and previewing property on a computer is like night and day. Agreed? Mm-hmm. Okay, but try to tell that to some of the new agents that, just flip through the pictures. No one's going to put a picture of a monster power line in the back of the house ever. That makes sense? Well, not only when they're new, they have to know and understand neighborhoods too. Okay. Even if they don't go in, just drive by it, just check it out. What's happening there. Because even when I go out of my area, I'm a little lost because it's not an area that so I have to do more homework when I'm going out of my regular areas. When you go out of area, you're already to what? West Covina? Like I just listed one over in San Bernardino. Although I'm getting to be an expert in Corona. Did you have a driver? And you know what? And let me tell you about when you talk about persistence, and they're lucky I'm their agent, because I sold it for a high price and I didn't think I was going to get the appraisal, and it was a VA, and the appraiser was so awesome. I sent him all the upgrades. We send him everything. We do a complete email to the appraiser. So him and I are collaborating. He calls me, goes, "Hey Marty, I found more square footage in this house that's on here." I go, "My people didn't add on." He goes, "Doesn't matter, because if you guys know, on an appraisal, if it's done in a workmanship type manner, he's going to give it value." He goes, "I don't need an appraisal." Anyway, so, collaborating, talking to him. I mean, how many of you do that to make sure your appraisals come in so you don't have a headache later? Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's the things that, that I do. And people know that when, Marty's the closer, she's going to make it happen. And so what do we believe about you? Because, some of our agents, right now you're building your reputation. That's right. And some of our agents don't have your personality. Okay. So they're not going to run people over in a nice way. And I want to say, this is really important. If Marty wants you to hurt, you're going to hurt. Okay. But if there's a good relationship there's a good relationship, there's respect, and respect is the key thing between all agents, all buyers. If you mess up respect with other people, it's going to all fall down on you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but Marty's got 47 years of 10,000 closed transactions. Some of those people aren't happy. Okay. My question to you, Marty, is how can we help a newer agent that doesn't have the Marty attitude? Where can we help them along? I think where you're helping him right now is, he's in training. That boy better be at the gym every day. He better be role playing Okay, he better be learning those contracts like the back of his hand, and he better know this new, buyer agreement, what to say, how to say, and when to say it, and that all comes, from scripting. So this is his baseline. This is where he's going to start, and then he's going to grow from there, and he's just going to get better and better. But he's got to get in front of a lot of people. He better be either cold calling, sitting open houses. He's got to get in front of the prospects. And your prospects are everywhere. Your family, your friends, you better be asking these people for referrals. And, and you have a lot of support at Century 21 Masters. So you're not having to do this all by yourself. In fact, we are very happy with our move to Century 21 Masters and all the resources that we have here.
Well, that's very kind, Marty.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. And we
Look.
we love, and we love the owners. They care about about the people.
Now, Randy and Matt, Keith, terrific,
Yes.
terrific people. Absolutely. No, leadership is excellent, and
Leadership is everything.
For sure.
Yes.
Patty had her hand up.
Yeah, hi, thank you so much. Hi, Marty, Patty Billings Malone.
Hi.
Wow, amazing. I've always heard your name, but I've never met you, and I'm out here in Ventura. So my question to you is, because obviously you have all the money you want or all the money you need, and you have all the business you need. When you
Not
go,
quite.
oh, that's right. I should say
Not
want.
quite.
At the beginning,
Go ahead.
At the beginning of the year, when you do your business plan, I mean, what's your motivation? And you don't need like a vision board. I mean, that would be like wall to wall what you have.
Great question, Patty. Great question.
You know what? No, there's still, things that I want to accomplish. In fact, I'm getting ready to build a house. Okay, here's another no. We bought a lot across the street from where we live right now for $16,000 because the man who owned it, who lived next door to us, thought you couldn't build on it. We thought you couldn't build on it. But my son found out in the state of California, because you have to have an acre and it's only half an acre. So it's a long, skinny half acre. So my son found out in the state of California, if you have a legal lot and there's no easements bothering the construction, they have to let you build a house on it. So just FYI, everybody.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm already past approvals. We just did a perk test. So I'm getting ready to build a house. It's 3,200 square feet with an 11-car garage.
Oh,
and hardly no yard, but I don't need a yard.
You don't need a yard. You just need a place for 11 cars. Good for you. Great question, Patty.
I only have one car.
Great question, Patty. Thanks, Marty. Good stuff. Other questions for Marty Rodriguez right now, please?
I have a question.
Go ahead. Is it Lydia?
Yeah.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Marty. Listening to you with all this, and then this last question you just answered, I have a question from that. How many hours do you actually spend at home having dinner and sleeping?
Well, you know what? I have a house at Newport Beach, so I try to do all my face-to-face Monday through Friday. I go to the beach on Friday afternoon, and then I stay there until Monday morning. But I have my computers and everything, so I can do everything I need to, down there.
When you stop, when do you stop?
You know what? It's kind of like if we're going out to dinner, friends or something. Like last night, I went out to dinner with some past clients. So that was fun for me. And I don't know, I'm going to be 74 years old, and most people my age out of the business, they've never kept up with, technology and all the things that we're doing. I was up this morning at 6 o'clock working out.
I just turned 74. Don't say that.
I know. We're good.
Good for you. Well, look, there's three of us here. I'm going to be 74. Marty, when
I'll be 74 in December. I'll be 74 in December. But you know what? You need to work out. You take care of your bodies, because this is what gives us energy. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I work hard at not gaining weight because I know it takes away your energy, especially, when we get older, because we need to really work on building our muscle because we start to lose muscle mass. So.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yep.
Great question. Good stuff, Marty.
Yes.
All right. I didn't realize you were older than me.
I'll be 74 in December, December 7th.
I'll be 74 in May of next year.
Oh, May of next year. Okay.
Wait, what month is it? Yeah, it's going to be May of next year.
And you know what? And I look at myself, I'm like, I got, this house.
Marty, you look fabulous.
Thank you. You know what? And I'm a project manager too, because I have a lot of listings. I go on appointments and I'm either getting them fixed up, painting. I'm doing one. We're doing a remodel, but air conditioning, a new kitchen. And at one time, let's see, a couple of weeks ago, I had like 5 of them going. So I'm thinking, who does that? Project manage, do your listings and negotiate. And it's like, thank you, God, that you gave me all this energy and I can do all these things. And that, and I have a great memory. That's my parents lived to be 93 and 96, and they were
wow,
all
congratulations.
They died. So I thank God every day. My dad was like this till he was 92 and a half. So that's what
that's great.
That's what I'm hoping for.
You're gonna get it because you're looking for it.
Yep, that's right.
Good stuff. Other questions for Marty, please?
In the beginning, what was your breaking point from going from average agent to who you are now?
Great question.
You know what? And that is a great question, because I know when I was working at another office, my first office, and I left there, and then I went to another office down the street, and that's when I started building my team. And I just had this aha moment. I'm thinking, you know what? This is a real business. I am running a real business. That was my aha moment. My transition from there to here, and I started building my team. I had my first buyer's agent in 1990. I realized that, you know what? Monday through, because years ago, you guys don't remember, but life was Monday through Friday. And on weekends, people were off. And when I got into real estate, I go, Saturday and Sunday no longer exist. Every day is the same day. Okay. Because I used to work 7 days a week when I first started. And, and then I ended up, getting, the housekeeper, and then Belinda, a girl from England, who helped me with my, my bills and all of those things. So little by little, I started letting go of the things that I could no longer handle. Because at some point you're going to need help if you're really going to be successful. And, Ed tried to fight me at first. And I told him I was going to get a housekeeper, and he said, "Oh no." He goes, "No." He goes, "You can work and clean house." And I thought, okay. So anyway, I hired this girl. Then he was really mad. And then I started, working, and I was making more sales, because why? I was focused, right? So then he said, "Hey, don't even make the bed, just go to work." Because he realized when you focus, more things are going to happen at the office. So you have to build your team at home. You're going to be starting, you're not going to have all of those, people to help you. But as you can afford it, you're going to let go of a few things here, a few things there. Now you're going to focus more on work, and you're going to be able to do more transactions. But you need a team behind you, whether it's your husband, your wife, your kids. And you can see my kids and my husband have been behind me. So I have not done this by myself. It has definitely been a team effort.
So can we borrow your team? Just kidding.
But your team starts at home, and then you build it, and then you build it at the office.
Oh, that's great. It's good stuff. All right. Other questions for Marty? This is great, Marty. I really appreciate it. I hope the agents are. I'm getting a lot out of it, taking all kinds of notes. Okay. Go ahead, Iris.
Thank you so much, Marty. Thank you, Neil. And Marty, so when you had you ever had difficult time getting business, or tough times in the business, and then what kind of mindset? How did you get through it?
You know what? And there were times, yeah, and there were times, when things were down and there wasn't a business. I'm like, I'm not happy with myself, and I don't think I'm a nice person, when it gets like that. And so I really have to work hard to, start creating more business. I don't like it when I don't have a lot of business around me. So I've got to make it happen. So yeah, I've had that happen many times. But the problem is it happens to other people and they don't do anything about it. They keep going down with it instead of trying to pick themselves up and, try to find the new business. How's it going to happen? I mean, you remember 2007, what happened in 2007? The market tanked. And I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? I didn't know what I was going to do. I remember we had already planned a trip to Australia. I was in Australia worried about my business in Glendora. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And the kids and I putting our heads together, when we go back, how are we going to make this happen? So guess what? I learned how to do bank repos, and I learned how I trained my entire office how to do short sales. And so, I have done this a couple of times because remember, the market went up to 1989. In 89, the market took a nosedive to 97. 97, you climbed back up to 2007, propelled by stated income loans. And then you took another nosedive because none of those people could afford those houses to 2013. So, and look at this, you're looking at 9 to 10 year cycles, but guess this cycle, we're already into year 11 and it's not going down, guys. We're into year 11 of an uprise in real estate and it's not going down. We don't know how many more years it will continue to climb. Because
you know what, Marty, my experience on that one is every 15 years, the market shifts. But if you look at a 30-year trend, the market is always trending slightly upwards.
Right.
And that's why making an investment today makes just as much sense as making an investment 15 years ago.
And that's what I tell people. If you can buy now, you better buy now. You better buy whenever. Don't worry about the interest rate. The interest rate will correct itself. But buying the house, that's going to be the tough part because I don't see prices coming down. And even when they did come down, guess what? You held on to it and it kept going up. So I bought a house in 89 for $125,000. It's worth almost $1 million. My house in Newport Beach, I bought for $725 24 years ago. It's worth $3.5 million. Where do you make that kind of money?
You don't.
You don't.
You don't.
No. So it doesn't matter when or how. If you can afford to get into a house or you put families together, they better be doing it. You better be educating your people that they need to buy, because being a renter is not fun either because rents are skyrocketing.
No, that's not moving downward. That's continuing. It's not going to jump up tomorrow where it's going to wipe everybody out, but it's going to have a constant. You can count on it, certainly in California.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff.
And people have made their wealth through real estate.
I have a question, Neil.
Go ahead, Tess.
First of all, Marty, thank you. So nice to see you in real life person talking. Anyway, I have a question. What does the day of Marty look like? I mean, do you still prospect? What's your schedule like?
Let's see. Okay, so Tuesday, Thursday is my workout day. So that's and then Tuesday we have call day at the office at 11. Wednesdays is office meeting, and then in between I'm either working or Jesse is working. I have one of my agents that's working with me now. So she's usually on top of all of my leads. Okay, Marty, call this person. Hey, you got a couple minutes, call this person. So she's helping me to make sure I'm doing my prospecting.
Oh, I see. So you have somebody who prospect for you, and then
she helps me because she makes sure, because the calls that I'm making.
Okay,
I'm making those calls.
I see. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And because I remember I have a lot of leads that I'm working on that are going to be listing within the next couple of months. So I got to stay on it.
I see. And
because somebody like you might get in front of him and try to take him.
She sure will.
I don't know if I can believe that. And so as far as you use our follow-up boss, like our CRM, that's what you use so far? Okay,
yes,
great.
Yeah, and we just started follow-up boss in the last year, I think. And it's awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh, I wish I had it a long time ago.
Awesome.
Because you know what? Because you put your follow-up in there, so you're not going to forget your clients. He's going to pop up later, and you're not going to forget about him.
Right.
Nice. Well, thank you. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Oh, good.
That's terrific. Excellent stuff.
Excuse me, I have a
ahead.
question.
Of course, Miriam.
Hi, thank you so much.
Actually, I want to know how long does it take for you to find your best first client at the beginning of your career?
Oh gosh, like I said, my first 6 months, I didn't sell anything at all. And then it took me when I was brand new, like 6 months. And then I remember, that not sure exactly what year it was, selling $1 million. That was big because remember, my first transaction was $42,000. So average sales price was definitely under 100,000 at that time. So if you were doing $1 million, you were doing 10 to 15 transactions.
Yeah, which was big business then.
Big business then. Yep.
Big business.
In 1978.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Yeah.
Hey,
So, and remember for you guys, it should be quicker because you have so many more resources than Neil and I had when we got started. There's so much more for you to be able to access clients quicker, faster.
So on that point, Marty, not only can they do it quicker, faster with phone dialers and all kinds of millions of things, at the time, 1976, 77, 78, 80, there were no mature Marty Rodriguez's. There were none of those agents out there. God, what was the gal in Huntington Beach?
Huntington.
She used to work for Walk-In. Was doing $500,000 worth of business, was doing 50 transactions at that particular time. Mike, at his first retreat, couldn't find 8 agents doing 50 deals.
And I didn't have the training because the first time I met Mike Ferry was at the Pacific Palms, and Mike had a big afro and he was doing a seminar, and there must have been 48, 50 people. That was how many people came to see him. Right. So, he was just getting started. So there weren't really, people that you could follow. So I was doing this seminar, that seminar, some were good, some were bad, but I just kept trying to learn. But Jim Weinkoff, who was our manager at the office I started, he was awesome. He was a good manager. And Jim was not a great salesperson, but he was a great teacher. He taught me a lot. He's the one that taught me to prospect, taught me the contracts, all of those things that, were basic.
What did he also teach you? You have to do it by the contract and what it says in the contract, do it, and that time frames count. And, we'll just close it when we can close it. He didn't teach you that stuff, right?
Not really, because remember, they didn't have that when we started. That started being implemented, later after I'd been in the business for a while, where time frames came in. I mean, people, it was very unprofessional, actually, I think, when we first started. It
was a real show. Okay, other questions for Marty? Come on, you guys.
Sorry to ask another question, Marty. You've been in a lot of markets, ups and downs. What does this market remind you of, and what would be the best solution of how to approach this market?
You know what? This market doesn't remind me of any market that we've been in at all, okay? Because interest rates were too low for too long. So, they made that part of the market stagnant, okay? So we don't have as many transactions, but don't worry about that. You don't have as many agents in the market either. So there's still enough business for all of us to be able to capture. Half the agents are gone, and probably another half will be gone. Which leaves us with our good
more
share.
Should be gone.
And which still leaves us with a good share of the market. So, but now I think we're in a market that you really need to be skilled. You need to be more professional than ever before. And there's so many still unprofessional people in the industry, and you guys see it when you do some of these transactions. But that's where we're going to stand out, because I was doing a transaction with an agent. He didn't like my counter. It's like, I'm not going to change my counter for you. That's how I do it. That's how our systems work. And I'm not going to change him just because he's going to complain to me. And that's and that's not a good move.
No. So what I think I'm hearing is get great at the new contract. Quit worrying about it. Quit being afraid of it.
Yes.
Own it, and own it better than anyone else in the market. A.
Yes.
B, know the inventory better than anyone else in the market. Have seen every single property you can possibly see. And if you've seen them all, extend out a city or two. The other thing I think you hit on is financing. We allow the lenders to dictate our world, so to speak. But the truth is that there's so many different options and opportunities with the lending side. And I don't know what you were doing with lending before Masters, but that's a really big part.
Well, for me, I was really excited because my escrow officer came over to Century 21 Masters, Jennifer and Dana. So I'm really excited about that. And my number one lender, Pat Sepulveda, has also come to Century 21 Lending, and she's the girl that saved that deal and has saved so many deals.
Now, I know Pat.
Tell people,
she's a great agent.
I says, nobody knows her underwriting guidelines better than Pat. I call Pat at night. Guess what she's doing? She's studying her underwriting guidelines. She's still studying, and she's been in the business for probably 25 years.
Those are the people we want to work with.
Yes. So
absolutely.
The same thing with us. We need to study what's going on in our marketplace. In fact, I just signed up for Proposition 33, which is going to affect, our business as well. That's coming up next week, I think, on CAR Monday. So watch, the CAR for all of the things that are happening in our industry. And then, like I said, I think Masters has a lot of great classes, prospecting, learning about, the new buyer contract, because I can't even get enough of it. I keep reading it and I'm thinking, oh my God, I missed that. Am I interpreting it right? I'm just trying to, so I'm trying to immerse myself in that contract so that I know it so well. Like I said, I'm not going to get stumped. You don't want to get stumped on it.
No, absolutely. Good point. Well, I know that Randy and Keith and Matt spent a lot of time, effort, and energy, a ton of money getting into that direction. That's why an agent like you, Marty, would even consider this. Not going to pay you more commission or more this. You already get it all. So it's got to be in services. It's got to be in help. It's got to be in helping you find an assistant if you need an assistant, or another agent for the team. Robert and his team with Eddie and Terry and Jackie. Yeah, thank you. Do a tremendous job out there supporting us. There's not, in my opinion, there's nothing Jackie and Terry don't know about this new contract, this new lawsuit that's come down. They do a tremendous job with it.
And they've been awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to sell houses. That's all I want to do. I don't want to think about anything else.
No, that's exactly the name of the game. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to coach and train and recruit and help people grow.
Right.
Okay. So any other questions before we wrap it up? Marty, you've been terrific. By the way,
and Shelly tells me, Mom, stay in your lane. If a renter calls me, it's like, don't answer the phone, Mom, stay in your lane. Just sell houses, get on the phone. So I have a lot of coaching here too.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Marty, thank you so much. It's great catching up with you. I hope that our agents got something out of this. What you forgot more than most agents know, and I really appreciate it. And there's a few real absolutes that I think we've gotten out of this, and we're going to push them. We have a tradition of what we call running through the finish line, and that is between now and the end of the year, the market tends to shrink a little bit. Okay, less buyers, less sellers, et cetera, et cetera. It's not we think it actually does happen. However, as the market shrinks a little bit, the number of agents working the market also shrinks dramatically. There's maybe 10 or 15% less business, but there's 50% less agents working. Does that make sense, Marty?
Yes. You know
So
what? You know what? It's kind of people like, we're going to wait till, the election, or what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the election? You know what? I don't give a flying rat's ass what's going to happen after the election, because I'm still going to sell houses, period. Because I can't control the election. I can't control any of the craziness. I can only control what happens here.
Even if you could control it, you can't buy enough votes this week.
Yeah, I don't, like I said.
Oh, did I say that?
I'm going to sell houses.
No, this is a great opportunity. And
because buyers are still going to buy and sellers are still going to sell, period.
That's right. Absolutely. Great name of the game. Marty, what we could do is we're going to go around the room, kind of ask the question, what did you learn from Marty today? I know that you may have a hard stop and need to move on. If not, you're welcome to listen to what the agents have to say.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit in.
All right, great. Okay, so what did we learn today, Tim?
I learned that the accumulation effect and building those relationships is super important. We had a conversation about this earlier, didn't we, Neil? And it's really important. Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Tim. Who else? What else did we learn today from Marty? Come on.
Always
Hands up, jump
build
in.
your skills and your confidence.
I'm sorry, who am I looking at?
That was me, Tyrone. Continue to build your skills and confidence. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the game or where you're at. Keep going, keep building, keep learning. Never stop.
We talked about that today also, Tyrone, about
Yes,
present, keep presenting, because you'll keep getting better.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good job. Armin.
Control what you can control and forget about everything else.
That's right. I gotta stop that old drinking stuff there.
I learned something, Neil.
Yes.
I learned that a lot of successful women are very good in multitasking.
Yep.
A lot of very successful women are, and with all due respect, because I'm married to one also, are tough ladies.
Yeah, we're tough, but we make it great.
100%. I wouldn't have it any other way. And my wife wouldn't have let me live that long to have it another way. It's good stuff. Okay, Patty, do you have something?
Yeah, for me, it was a really good eye opener, because when I turned 65, my daughter said, "Oh, you're going to retire now. It's time for us to work." And I didn't even dawn on me. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I got a little confused. So I really appreciate you being such a great example. And your mindset is incredible, and the confidence. And it's not like you get to somewhere and then it's over. You can just always keep going, keep learning, keep achieving, and helping.
You know what? And that's why we're so lucky to be in real estate. We can do this till we're dead. I mean, it's
Marty, stop talking about that.
I mean, but seriously, because guess what? My income goes up when I say, okay, it's going up. Nobody can fire me but me. So, your raise becomes effective when you become effective.
Those are awesome. Thank you so much.
Great points. Absolutely. Good stuff.
Neil.
Thank you for the question. Hortensia.
Yes, thank you so much. It's great to meet you, Marty. Excellent. What I learned is, first of all, to stay in my lane. And second of all, is the team. The team begins at home, which is important, because I've been struggling with doing too much, cleaning, cooking, laundry, in between working on my files. And you brought up a great point, making my team, starting at home, and then delegating.
Hortensia, go hire a housekeeper today.
Yes, I'm going to.
Really, seriously, seriously,
organized.
Based on our conversation earlier today, just go hire a housekeeper. It's not that much money.
Right. Because
I guarantee,
here's
a promise. I guarantee she's not going to clean the house as nice as you want it.
That's
Okay,
true.
So don't even worry about it.
Thank you.
Okay, what else did we learn today?
Neil, knowledge equals confidence. I love that. And the second thing that I absolutely love is no does not mean no.
That's right. All it means is not now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, your everything changes when you're on the phone and somebody says, "Nah, I'm really not interested." Right? I'm not really interested. Okay, great. And you finish the sentence by saying, "Not now." Get it? Just write it down. Not now. And then put a note next to that client and go back to them. Manuel Dominguez. Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's not anything I learned, but I do want to make a comment. So not that I ever had any doubt, Marty, whatsoever, but it is so good to feel your energy and your passion for the business and your energy and passion for being alive. That energy hasn't left you from 25 years ago when it's amazing. And thank you for joining the company. Thank you for being so open. And I absolutely love you, Marty. You taught me so much. I've always said that to you. And I would love to stop by. Yeah, no, I've always said that to you.
You have.
Literally what I learned over there is everything. I learned how to dress. I learned how to coordinate my clothes. I learned what a grotto was. I learned when we're previewing houses, when I first started working for Marty, there are master bedrooms bigger than the house I grew up in. And it was like, it really. And so I learned so much from you. So thank you, Marty.
That is a real aha moment, isn't it, Marty?
And I would love to stop by next week, maybe the week after, and we can chat. Love to.
Hey, Manuel, and make sure your car's clean.
Make sure my. So one of the things one of the things Marty would do, we would call, all the buyer's agents will call each other. Manuel, Marty's doing a desk check. Marty would go through all the desks to make sure that they're organized. I remember one time she opened up a desk and she sent that agent home. She goes, "If your desk looks like this, so does your home. Go home and clean your house." So we made sure everything was dialed in the office and our cars. Yeah, always.
Those were the good old days.
We used to call it the Marty bus. Don't get hit by the Marty bus.
Good job. Excellent. What else did we learn today?
I have something, Neil.
Go ahead, Mario. Or Marco,
Always
sorry.
find a way whenever the market changes.
Yep.
See, that's an interesting point. Marty comes from that place. I come from that place. You know, I've been through, Marty, what is it, 3, 4, 5 recession, depressions?
Yep.
You know, we've been in the business basically.
Down, 2007 down.
Right. I'm the happiest when the market is down. Why? Because I can clobber most of the rest of the agents and brokers and have done that over the years. Marty, the same thing. Market's down. Yippee!
Yeah.
Here I go.
Yeah.
I love it. I forgot about that yippee yell. All right, good stuff. What else did we learn?
Hi, Marty, it's Ruth. Hey, you mentioned your persistence, tenacity, and focus is a really big deal for you. I haven't closed a deal with you yet, but I know I will. And there have been many times where you answer the phone when I'm calling you about your properties, making an offer. I submitted it. I'll call you. I'll follow up, and you will know, and you will let me know this is an impressive offer. And you know who your lender matters, and how you express that, because I use John Schlitzing and over at Fairway Mortgage.
Yes.
And you immediately pick up that phone call after you get that offer, and you basically scrutinize. I know you scrutinize every offer that comes in, and you know who you're working with.
Yeah.
And but I know I'm gonna close a deal with you one day. Yeah,
in
you
fact,
do
you know,
acknowledge
I just had an offer yesterday from an agent, and I have a septic tank on this property. So she wrote on the offer, septic tank to be inspected. I told her, look, I'm going to give you a lesson. I go in real estate. I go, don't ever ask for a septic tank to be inspected. You always ask for a septic certification, and only a C42 licensed contractor can do that type of inspection. You know what? 90% of the agents don't know that.
Yeah, wow.
And you know what? And she wasn't in my office. She's an outside agent, and I'm going, you know, I'm going to give you a lesson. I'm going to teach you. She was new.
Okay, every one of you should write down what Marty just said. Every single one of you.
Yes. Yeah, you should.
Because I would guess, and I'm one of them, because I haven't dealt with that in a million years, every one of us couldn't have rattled that off. And because she did it that way, with that focus, attitude, and approach, whatever came next, the client was going to believe. You get that? That's why you're not getting deals. I'm going to record this one and I'm going to play it back. Thank you, Marty.
Yes.
You gave me my clip.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you, because we learned a lesson. That's how I learned this many, many years ago. We sold a house in Covina on Knollcrest. She had the plumber next door do the certification. And then when we had a problem, we found out he was not a C42 licensed contractor. The certification meant nothing. Yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
Okay. Well, those are the lessons we learned that cost and hurt a lot.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. What else do we learn?
Hello, Marty. This is Michael. You're my dear friend.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, we have a
I see
transaction.
Marty and Michael in every picture every week of every party that's going on in San Gabriel Valley.
Michael's so good on social media. He's awesome.
I did my first closing with her back in 1991. I remember that condo. So since then, we are really close friends. And one of the things I really like about what you said, when you went to Australia and the business was going down, right away you say, I'm going to get my family together and we're going to have a plan to overcome this. And I know she's always having great coaches all the time, like, Tony Robbins and whatever, but it doesn't matter. He said, I'm going to take charge here. I'm going to get my family and I'm going to overcome this. And in addition to whatever the coaches said. So that's important when the challenges are coming. She said, I'm going to be taking care of this. And that how she coming, ahead of that. Thank you very much, Marty. You are my great friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
That's great. Excellent. Yeah. All right, we only have 3 more hours. Let's go. Come on. We need. Good job, Marty. Good job.
Yeah, she said, don't take no for an answer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Sonny, don't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a deal in. And next week, I want you to do open mic for us, okay?
Next week?
Yeah.
Give me a month.
I'm giving you next week. It's the middle of September. Come on, let's do this.
Okay, I'll do it.
Come on, Sonny. Jeez.
Okay. Oh my God.
All right, next month. All right, what else do we learn? We got to wrap it up here. We got to put Marty back to work.
So I wanted to share a little bit about the passion and the mindset, which does tremendous difference. So I always remember, Marty, you'd say, if you had 10 escrows and one fell out, you wouldn't worry about it. The problem is you only have one. So I always remember that. Then you used to say when you were feeling a little under the weather, how are you feeling, Marty? Well, I'm fabulous. My body's a little sick, but I feel fabulous. So that's like mindset as well, which is a big thing. And I remember seeing a picture of you door knocking tons of years ago, and your babies were in a little wagon. You were pulling your babies in a little wagon as you door knocked. And I thought that is like the prime example of just the desire and the conviction that you have to make it happen, which is a prime example of no excuses.
Yep.
Get it done. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
So Marty's, you got a couple grandchildren you could loan to people to pull in the wagon, right?
Yeah. And my granddaughters they're badasses. They're 23 years old and they're both certified welders, but one is an estimator for Chef Steel, one of the largest steel companies in the US. They both moved to Arizona, and the other one is a project manager for another big construction company, and they're only 23 years old.
None of this surprises me at all.
Yep.
If you told me they were the governor of the state, that would be okay.
Hey, Neil,
Yeah.
I back in the 90s, I wrote an offer for one of Marty's listings. And she made me always check my offers after that, because she called me and she didn't even ask who I was. She just said, "Are you a professional or what?" And I was like, who the hell is this? And after that, she hung up the phone. And after that, I thought, from now on, I'm never going to make a mistake on an offer. I'm going to check and double check and triple check. And I rarely make mistakes.
Isn't that a great legacy to leave to an industry? Okay.
You know what? We want to elevate the industry. We want to elevate everybody in it as well.
You know, Marty, you're like a superstar. Often I would go to these brokers opens and you would hear these agents, "Oh, that's Marty Rodriguez." And then, you know, she used to bring all her kids to all the brokers opens to feed them.
I did.
That was the beginning.
That's how she fed them.
Few years. And oh, that's Marty.
I did. My kids used to go with me.
Yeah.
I remember a story.
But you know what? One thing about that is they saw how hard I worked.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell them what I was doing. I showed them what I was doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Marty was very busy one week. We were out to dinner and she was sharing with me that I don't remember if it was Shelly or your son that needed a car.
Yes.
And
Sean. It was Sean.
It was Sean. And
yes.
And Sean comes in, Mom, you know, there's a car and the dealer says it might get sold and whatever. And she says, great, have him pull it in front of the restaurant and I'll look at it. He says, he's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. Yeah, he's going to do that if he wants to sell the car. True story, Marty?
True story. But you know what? He ended up being very impatient. So he went to this other fleet guy that we knew, and it was really sad. The first guy didn't know his inventory. So the fleet guy found that car in that boy's parking lot. So he ended up buying it from the fleet. You know why? Because he didn't know his inventory. He had the car.
What a great, another great story.
He had the car in his lot, but he didn't know his inventory. So somebody else took that car from that lot and sold it to us. And it's just like your houses. If you don't know your inventory, somebody else is going to sell your client.
100%. Boy, I'm going to leave it on that thought. Great job, Marty. Fantastic. Congratulations on 47 years.
Thank you, Marty.
Good job.
Thank you,
good
Marty.
job. Good job.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
All right.
Marty.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Great job.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.